So at the end of the game, there's a moment. It's a 4th and 1. Buffalo, I think the better team is on the road. And instead of kicking a field goal to send it to overtime, they go for it. And I can't believe how many people are pushing back on that. Folks, there are times in life that you play it safe. With your retirement account, shipping glassware, raising your children. You do not play it safe on the road against a good football team. You go for it. Of course you go for it. I'm going to trust a coin flip over Josh Allen. I'm going to trust a kicker over Josh Allen. You have to understand the temperature of the room. You're going to get on a plane after that game and fly 2.5 hours back with 60 alpha males. You're going to start losing guys if you take your offense out for your worst athlete, your kicker. Special teams are backups. You keep your stars on the field. You don't go to backups. 4 reasons. Number 1, Brady Belichick built a legacy on going for it in these situations. When you have a big, tall quarterback, 4th and 1, you go for it. Number 2 is, I'm not going to give the ball back to Derrick Henry. No, thank you. Number 3 is, you keep your best athletes on the field in crucial situations. And number 4 is, analytically, you go for it. 75% of the time, you get the first down. And I'd say it's even higher when you have a 6'6" quarterback. When you go on the road, you have to understand the temperature of the room. I talked to Ray Lewis, one of the great players in the history of football, once about this. When you go on the road, it's different. At home, you're coming to our place. But when you go on the road, it's all about mindset. You got to go steal something from in somebody else's place. And you go on the road, you're going to take more risks. You're going to be more aggressive. Statistically, the home team wins 60 to 65% in the NFL. So when you get on that plane and you're flying to a city, and it doesn't matter if you're Pete Carroll doing something, doesn't matter if you're Belichick, when you go on the road, you are more aggressive because you generally don't get that one close call on the road. You don't know the sight lines as well. You're not as comfortable in the hotel. You know what I mean? Like nothing's quite as comfortable. So you got to flip the switch and you got to go, we're going to go super aggressive. You're going to take big risks. The other thing that never gets discussed, John Harbaugh earlier this year in September went for it, 4th and 1. They were playing the Kansas City Chiefs. They went for it, they got it, and they won the game over Kansas City. And when they asked John Harbaugh after the game why he went for it, he said, well, because I got Lamar Jackson, and they got Patrick Mahomes. I'm not giving the ball back to Patrick Mahomes. Folks, there's about 7 or 8 skill players in the league. Forget quarterbacks. There's about 7 or 8 skill players in the league. I don't want to go to overtime with them. Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry. I can have the play perfectly defended, and they bust a 75-yard run. They're just certain guys like, I don't want to go to overtime with Aaron Rodgers. He can do stuff I can't defend. I don't want to go into overtime. When you go on the road, you're trying to win, not extend the game. You're trying to end it. And there's just there were so many reasons you go for it. And I thought, we all know this. We've talked about this ad nauseum. In 2021 in American sports, you can see it in baseball. You can see it, the Astros, the Dodgers. You can see it in basketball. The Lakers aggressive, get free agents. Brooklyn, aggressive wins. You're not trying to extend it. You're trying to end it. This is something that never gets discussed among the media, but it's constantly discussed in the league. McDermott said, I trust my guys. Who are his guys? His starters. Who are his guys? His 11 starters on offense and his 11 starters on defense. These are your stars. You can't win in this league without star power. Belichick now can't win. Got to have star power. Got to trust your stars. And the reason John Harbaugh went for it against Kansas City, because I got a great star, and I don't want to give it back to their star. And the reason you go for it in Buffalo, because I got a star quarterback who needs 7 inches, and I'm not giving it to their star. There's always been an understanding. This is something the media doesn't talk about. You are leading alpha males. They're millionaires. They're often walk into a room. The guys want to be them. The women are attracted. This is who you got. You got men. You're leading men. You don't go to them, guys, go for a tie. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. You got to be super aggressive in spots like that, totally defend Buffalo. And I'll segue to this because I think it's an important thing. is we talked about it this summer when the rumors were out there about Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson leaving the Packers and the Seahawks. How much would you give up for like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers? How much would you give up? And we're like, I don't know, 5 first-round picks, 6? Folks, I was thinking about this morning. Is that another reason I would go for it for Buffalo is primarily I like Josh Allen. There are 12 quarterbacks in this league that I'm just always going to go for it with any reasonable situation. And going for it there was reasonable. There's 12 guys that I know, and it changes your franchise. You're going to give them complete trust in the biggest spots. Now, you got 32 teams. Some are big, some are short. Some are fast, some are slow. Some are old, some are young. But here's the 12 guys that I would always trust in the NFL. And I wrote a list this morning. Let me grab it. I wrote a list this morning. Here's the 12 guys I would always trust. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Derek Carr, and Deshaun Watson when he returns. The other 20, you're on your own. I don't trust them. These 12 teams should not be on the phone when Deshaun Watson comes back trying to move off their quarterback. If you can drive to the facility and drive to the stadium every Sunday, those are the guys I always roll with. I to a fault, I will go for it on 4th. The minute I get into their territory, I'm absolutely going for it. And sometimes even in mine. Here I am at my own 39-yard line, 4th and a foot. I'm going to go for it. And I've said this before. That's kind of where we are in the NFL right now. It is such a quarterback league, is that when you look at those quarterbacks, my takeaway is those are your Super Bowl teams. They have a different mindset than the other 20 teams in the NFL. Come on, they'd move off Kirk Cousins in Minnesota tomorrow. Carolina likes Sam Darnold, but he's probably not the future. Miami's been in multiple rumors with Deshaun Watson. So is Philadelphia. So another reason is I think, and by the way, I think Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, I'm probably a year away from putting them in that group, but they don't have enough starts yet for me, and they don't have good enough offensive lines where I'd feel on a big 4th down they'd get protection, they'd have help. But the league, it really comes down to this. Do I have a guy, a go-for-it guy? I think there's 12 teams in the league that do and 20 that do not. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.